One of the more unusual boats at the show is the GSA Atlanta 24. It's a GRP boat, but it's 6 feet 10 inches wide, so it's a canal boat as well. I'm with Glenn Mumford from GSA Marine. He's brought the boat back from the 70s and the 80s. Glenn, tell us more about how you brought this boat back into being.
Well, originally I think it was built as a Norman in the 70s, and then it was changed slightly in the 80s and renamed as the Atlanta 24. And it just seemed to disappear come the middle 1990s. And we were offered a mould till, so we bought it and brought it forward, and hopefully we've updated that nicely inside. We've brought all mod cons in it, all full equipment, galleys and everything. Trying to update it and bring it back into the 21st century, really.
What made you think of bringing back a boat for the canals, though? Because I know specifically you wanted a narrow beam GRP boat.
Well, with the last year and all the banking crisis, we were looking for something small that people sort of retirement age could do and handle on their own, and this became available to us. So we decided it was a popular boat in the early 90s. We decided we'd have a go and bring it back.
And I think you put it back on the water at the late last year, and you sold 5 of them so far.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, the first one we built on spec and took it to Southampton Boat Show. We sold it, and then we've moved forward from there. Took it to Birmingham, NEC in February, and sold 3 from there. So it's gone really well, and we're really pleased with it.
And it's trailable as well, so you can put it on the trailer, you can take it where you want to. What sort of car do you need to tow it with?
Ideally, to want a 4x4 really, or a large saloon car. Obviously, it all depends entirely upon the rating of the car, where it's allowed to tow. I mean, the boat itself weighs between 1.2 and 1.5 tonne, depending on what appliances and bits and pieces and personalised stuff you have inside it.
It's got a 15 horsepower Honda engine on the back. If people wanted to have a larger engine, can they fit one too, if they're thinking more of using it for rivers? Yeah,
I'm sure it would be more than adequate to take a 25 or a 20 horsepower. To go any higher than that, I don't think it would really make much difference to the performance of the boat.
What did you have to do, given that it's a boat that was built in the 70s, or designed in the 70s, what did you have to do to bring it up to date now for 2010?
Well, we've got all soft linings, all the headlines done in soft line, and all the cabin sides are done in soft lining. Whereas in the past it's all been done in carpet, and just carpet stuck straight to the hull. We put shelves around the front and put upholstered panels underneath and above the shelves around the front berth. We've got all mod cons, full galley, oven, grill, 3-burner hob, full sink, hot and cold water, full shower facilities, and a pump out toilet with a holding tank.
That's a lot to pack it into such a small boat. I think we better go and have a look inside. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Step on board and you know you're on a cruiser. It doesn't feel like it's a narrow beam cruiser, but it is, and it will go through narrow locks. What it does feel like is what it is, and that's a cruiser. Over the top, we've got a canopy. Keeps the wind and the rain off when you're going, and of course when you leave the boat, it keeps the boat secure. Helm position over on the port side. There's a wheel, throttle, forward and back. It's as simple as that. Switches in the front and instruments for water temperature and fuel tank levels. The helmsman's seat folds down. That makes access easy from either side, and that's the thoughtful touch. Behind there, the batteries are sited underneath on the port side. There's a fuel tank underneath on the stern, and there's storage on the starboard side. As you'd expect on a cruiser, you've got leatherette type seating all the way around the stern with the top down in the summer. It's lovely. From here you go straight on down through a central doorway into the cabin. Step down inside. The first thing you notice is just how light and bright this boat is. There's 2 reasons for that. First, there's windows right the way around, and these slide open. The second reason is because they've used a cream fabric, much like the ones on the stern. It's also soft and pliable, so it feels quite luxurious, but what it does do is make the inside of the boat light and bright, so don't expect this to be a small, dingy little boat. It's not at all. Remember, this is based on a Norman 24 back from the 80s, so what they've done cleverly is not tried to change the design, but to improve on it. So we'll just go around and look at how they've done it and how it works. The first thing is there's a storage cupboard there for coats with hooks in it, so you can put your coats in as soon as you come down. If you're going to take this boat away, you need to have a sink. They fitted one here and put it underneath this glass top, so that works as part of the work surface. Remember, on a boat like this, space is at a premium. You've got to use everything that you can. Again, because you might want to take this away, they thought that through and they found space to fit a fridge underneath. Next door, there's some storage which you're going to need for food and for your larder. You can also tell that this has been built by a company that knows about boats. This steel ring around the top is to keep the pots and pans where they belong if you're on open water, and that's a good idea. Probably not that much use on the canals, but if you're taking it out on the rivers, you might find you appreciate that. Underneath the gas hob, there's an oven, so you really can cook if you want to take the boat away for an extended period. Next to that, there's another work surface and more storage alongside. There's even a 240 volt socket. On the port side, there's a dinette, and as you'd expect, this moves down and turns into a double bed. All you do is pull these out and then put the cushions in on top. Behind the dinette, they've even managed to squeeze in a shower and loo. It's a pump out loo, which is unusual on a boat of this size, but it works well. Here we are in the bow area, and this is the main bed. It's a good size and it'll take a 6-footer too. This little area here infills so the bed runs right the way across and right forward to the forward bulkhead. Underneath you've got thick cushions which are very comfortable, and for a small boat this is a big size of bed. This boat's a completely different take on cruising the canals. It's 6 feet 10 inches wide, so it will do the whole of the system through the narrow locks. They've packed an awful lot down inside there, so it's a great boat if you want to take it away for a weekend, or if you want to go away for extended cruising too. I've taken it out on the water and it handles nicely too. There's plenty of room in the back if you want to have friends on board and take them for a day out. Plus you've got a trailer so you can take it to where you want it as well. For $34,950, this is a great way of starting out and getting out onto the water.